I'm Ted Baker, and I'm here today talking to you about repairs and maintenance for all of your equipment, hot side and cold side, in your restaurants. This video is not going to take very long, and for the most part, it's pretty much off the cuff. But if you listen, you're going to hear something about repairs and maintenance that you have never, ever heard before, which allows you to lock in your repairs and maintenance costs on all of your equipment, no matter what breaks, no matter how many times, so that you will be able to control your repairs and maintenance costs exactly the same way that you control your food costs and your labor costs. You know, if you've been in the restaurant business for 5 minutes, you probably know already that there's no shortage of people that come knocking on your door who want to repair your equipment. But you know, I guess the problem is they pretty much all say the same thing. We're fast, we're better, we'll save you money, we're cheaper, there's no recalls. Whatever they say, it's the same thing, and you've heard it 100 times before, okay? But then again, so if you're looking for somebody, at some point you choose somebody, they come on board and they start working, and most often you find that after 2 months or 6 months, it's either the same thing or maybe even worse. You're spending more money, there's more recalls, and they're really not doing what they said they can do, right? That's a problem. I want to present you with a different program, but before I do that, I would like you and I to agree on something. I want to talk about food costs for your restaurant. I think that probably you and I understand food costs very well, and I'm going to tell you that no matter what your food costs are, and you need them to be a certain point, no matter what they are, you and I can reduce those food costs today by 10 to 15%. So if your food costs are 30%, we could get them to 15% with absolutely no problem whatsoever. All we have to do is, three things. We have to lower the quality of the food that we're selling. We have to reduce the portions, and we have to increase the prices. If we increase the prices and do those things, we can take our food costs from 30% to 15%. No problem whatsoever, right? You know? And the fact of the matter is that will work just fine for 2 to 6 months until we go out of business. And we're gonna go out of business because Jack in the Box or McDonald's or your corporate office has determined that to sell your quality of our product that you want, that we need this quality of food, we need this quantity in our portions, and we want it at this price point. So what we're saying here is that while you and I know we can lower our food costs to almost nothing right now, that's not a good decision, because we need quality, we need a certain portion, we need a certain price point, okay? So where am I going? I want you to look at maintenance and repairs in the same way, you know. You can hire anybody at any price to fix your equipment. If you want to, I can send you 10 guys tomorrow for $20 an hour. But they're not going to fix your equipment, they're going to destroy it, okay? You know, people that do air conditioning and refrigeration, this sort of thing, are professionals. And believe it or not, if when we meet, I can clearly show you how paying somebody $100 an hour is a lot less expensive than paying somebody $60 an hour. You know, if you have a brain tumor and you have a choice between a $30,000 operation and a $250,000 operation, which one do you want? I'm sorry to say that today it's not too difficult to be driving a car that costs $100,000. So if your $100,000 Mercedes or Bugatti or whatever it is that you drive today, a 2023 Camaro is $70,000. Do you want somebody working on that car for $20 an hour? Are you gonna do that? I'm not gonna do that. So here's what I wanna tell you. And here's what you've never ever heard before. Well, you know, one of the biggest problems with all maintenance and repair companies is the more times they come to your restaurants, the more money they make and the more you spend. How about if you and I develop a plan whereby the more times a maintenance company comes to your restaurants, the more money they lose, right? I propose the following. I'm going to tell you something that I want to do that's never been done before and that you've never heard of before. I want to become your vested partner. I want to meet with you. I want to talk with you, okay? Because you know you have a food cost that you want to achieve. You know you have a labor cost that you want to achieve. And you and I also know that you have an R&M cost. If your R&M cost is as cheap as possible, I don't want to spend anything. I don't want to spend anything whatsoever. We probably should not waste our time meeting, okay? Most great restaurants, I once went to Chili's and I said, what is your percentage of gross that you spend on R&M? And they said to me, well, for the first year, 0. We want everything to be under warranty. We don't pay anything after that. But they said for all other restaurants, after a year or two, 5%, okay? Now, when we talk about maintenance and repair, understand there are 3 R&Ms really, okay? Because you have R&M, and mostly, in my case, equipment repair, we're talking about cooking equipment and cold side equipment. Grills, fryers, ovens, broilers, steamers, slicers, smokers, microwaves. And then on the cold side, refrigerators, walk-ins, ice machines, air conditioning, blast freezers, anything like that, okay? That's what we're talking about. But you and I know there's also R&M for building, doors, walls, carpets, ceiling, floors, glass. And then we also know there's capital expenditures. Our plan can help you with all of those things. Because also, let me tell you something else that's very, very important that here again, probably nobody's ever told you. If I'm an idiot service technician, if I tell you that I can fix your air conditioning refrigeration, I want you to know, and I'll be happy to tell you this when we meet in person, there are 12 ways that I can destroy your equipment and you'll never know it until 6 months after I've been there. If I put in the wrong Freon, if I put in too much Freon, if I put in the right Freon in the wrong way, if I wash your condensers wrong, if I don't clean the chemicals out of your evaporator, I can damage or destroy your equipment or destroy your compressors, and it'll happen 6 months later, and you'll never connect that to me because I was an idiot, okay? I want to create a situation in your restaurants where 2 things happen. One, your repair and maintenance costs are the exact same every single month, no matter what breaks, no matter how many times it breaks, no matter how much the part costs, it's the same every single month. 5%, 6%, whatever it is, okay? So what I want to do is I want to become your vested partner. I want to sit down, I want to meet with you, I want you and I to agree how much money that you need to spend on R&M. You know, old buildings take dollars to fix. There's a lot of equipment that hasn't been repaired right. We will fix everything in every one of your stores, no matter how many times it breaks, no matter how much the parts cost, no matter what the shipping is, no overtime, no parts markup, for the same cost every single month. So what that means is, if the costs never fluctuate, if we fix something and we don't fix it right, if for some reason we had to go to one of your stores and go out there 20 times to fix something, well, we're losing our rear ends because we can't charge you more money. We can't make up some lie like you've heard a million times before. Remember that time when you got something really expensive fixed? The bill was $4,000 or $5,000, you know, and then 2 or 3 weeks later it broke again. So you called the company, you're thinking, well, it's got to be under warranty, and so it's going to be free. And the company comes out, and this is what they said to you. Well, yeah, we fixed that walk-in, but, you know, this is not the same thing. This is something different, so we have to charge you again. Remember that? Think of how many times you've heard that in your career, you know. No more of that. That's gone, okay? We agree what the price is that you're going to pay every week, every month for every store. And that price is fixed. It never changes. So if all your air conditioning goes out, except for acts of God, of course, you know, if all your AC, no matter what happens, we fix it all. It's the same price and it never goes up. Now, if you want to control R&M costs, unlike ever before, unlike anybody else within this industry, I'd like you to call me. I'll come to you. I'll come to your office, no matter where it is. Okay, we'll sit down, we'll talk, and we'll negotiate what all these costs can be, and we'll come up with some dollar amount that you pay every single month, and every single piece of your equipment will be fixed 100% of the time. I think that's it. If you're interested, call me. My telephone number is 866-977-947. 866, excuse me, 866-977-947. I'm Ted Baker. Call me. Let's talk. Thanks for your time. Goodbye.